Welcome to Talking Politics. I am Paul Gable. I'm here with my good friend and co-host John Bond Sr., the Cat Man. And we have, Kelly Moore. She's back with us again this week to talk more about county information. We'll be back in a moment. We're at Soho at 21st Avenue North in Myrtle Beach, the place where John likes to eat pork chops.
That's true.
And we have Kelly Moore, the county's public information officer, back with us today. And John, I know you had something that you specifically wanted to go, so we'll give you the first question.
Well, you were talking about cats. You opened up by talking about cats because we talked about cats prior to going on the air.
No, I called you the cat.
So I thought maybe we'd talk about a little bit about the shelter that you have there in the county. How is that coming about? I know they were going to extend it with respect to not only cats but other animals. Are you aware of that? Are you up to date on that? I don't want to catch you off flat-footed on
No,
the animal shelter.
Can you be more specific? Extend.
Well, they were talking about that because their present location over at the Reuben J. Long, they're right behind there, and they have a little quarters there, and there's some land in the back that the county has, and the county wanted to extend it to
expand it.
Yes.
Because of the fact that there's so many people coming in and bringing so many animals in, and when they want to get rid of them or want to relocate them, they call the county, and the county is overextending themselves. But I was just wondering what's happening there. I know Al Allen was on top of this.
So no plans, no current construction plans in terms of expanding the building. They have used a tent with air conditioning to house some animals, but currently all the animals are being housed within the shelter. It is just the busy season for the animal shelters. You're hearing that from animal shelters around the county, that the summer in particular is busy. They've had several really successful adoption events at the Horry County Animal Care Center, and so we're really encouraging people that are looking for a new family member, a cat or a dog, to come to the Animal Care Center and adopt. In many cases, they're waiving adoption fees for qualified applicants and that kind of thing.
Well,
I noticed that they were giving free adoptions there. They advertised.
Yes,
that's good. The reason why I asked, because this morning before getting here, about 7 in the morning, I had gotten a call from one of the people that are visiting Myrtle Beach in one of the hotels, and apparently they've seen some cats running up and down the boardwalk or whatever, and they wanted to know what I can do about it. So I said, call Paul Gable. He knows what to do about it.
Yes,
not
sir.
me. But anyway, you also have other issues that are on your plate, Kelly, that I'm sure you want to discuss.
And if you wanted to talk about them running up and down the boardwalk, I'd say call Brenda Bethune. She's the one to talk about for that.
Well, that's good. Brenda, your favorite subject. We
Well,
can talk about that with Tim Wilkes.
If you're in the city of Myrtle Beach, we're not going to talk about it
pretty soon.
at the county
Tim
level.
Wilkes will have his own program. Watch out. Tim Wilkes is on the air.
Anyway, go ahead, John. You were asking Kelly.
Well, Kelly, that was one of the things I had on my plate. I was going to ask you now. You just seen where the judge says that the county cannot collect the taxes right now with respect to the ongoing fight that the county and the cities are having. So that's going to be I guess, a barrier to go forward in some of the projects the county wanted to use the money for, with the hospitality tax and so forth.
So there's not much I'm going to be able to say.
I mean, you can say about that because the judge
it's,
ruled, yeah.
Right, and it's ongoing litigation, but I know it's certainly a topic of conversation. There's lots of discussion happening around that, and the county's continuing to comply with the judge's order in the interim.
Oh, yeah, sure. But that's a roadblock for the county because they were expecting to continue collecting the taxes until it was resolved in the courts. But once he puts a stop order on it, you can't.
Well, the stop order's been on it for a long time. This was an appeal of the injunction that failed.
Well, the judge said they can't collect the taxes. That's the bottom line. They can't collect however
and
you
then
want
they
to address
appealed
it
it
legally. But
and
the
the
bottom
appeals
line
court said they can't collect it either.
Yeah, but that's
so they got smacked in the mouth a few times on this.
Sometimes judges overrule things that are really positive for the public, and you wonder where they come from. Well, where they're coming from? Why are they doing these things? It's for the benefit of the public because we do need roads, and especially they were going to be using some of that money for 90, Highway 90 and other
They were talking about
areas.
originally using all that money for I-73, which we don't need.
Well, we're not talking about I-73. They were talking about taking care of the roads right here in Horry County. That's the important thing. And a lot of people are moving in, and a lot of people are coming in to enjoy our beaches and our sunshine and what have you as tourists. And traffic is just getting overbearing. It's like Paul just said, he hates to go down to, at this season, he hates to go down to Surfside Beach because traffic is so heavy.
Traffic, I mean, it's just, and I don't have to, so I won't.
I know, but you don't want to.
No.
Even if you had to, you wouldn't want to do
There
that.
was no reason I would want to go to Surfside Beach right now because the traffic is just too much of a pain in the neck.
And it's going to get worse. And if we don't address it, we don't get that money for our roads.
What it's doing, and Kelly, you jump in anytime you want to, okay? We're expanding west. I mean, north-south, this north-south travel on the east of the waterway has been a problem for several decades at least, okay? I would imagine there are locals that tell you it's been a problem for 50 years, but it's a problem, and there's no solution to it. There's no place we're going to put another north-south road east of the waterway. But we're moving west. We're up to 90. We're out to 905. More and more and more. Thousands of homes, or thousands of
90.
Rezoning requests, thousands of homes are being approved, and we don't have a plan.
That's the whole point. Any plans on the horizon?
Well, I think certainly infrastructure around the county is a large topic of discussion. You've got the Imagine 2040 plan that's looking at that long-term kind of comprehensive planning piece that absolutely looks at infrastructure. Not only how do we, get some of these more major infrastructure projects going, and what do we need next, but also how do we connect some of these roadways we already have to make transit easier around the county, both for our residents and for our visitors, also to make it more accessible for public safety vehicles. We have a lot of developments that are kind of closed in a loop, and being able to connect some of those will help take the burden off of those main roads.
On that note, we got to take a break, but we'll come back. We'll talk more about that because that's a great topic. We'll be back in a moment.
Hi, I'm Sarah. I'm a server at Brothers Grill, and as a server here, I like to make sure everybody has amazing service and good fresh food every single day. We serve lunch and dinner from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m., our happy hours from 4 to 7, and we're located on 5900 North Kings Highway. Follow us on Facebook at Brothers Grill Myrtle Beach.
P. Reynolds by the Ocean is a restaurant and live performance space with an open jazz jam every Thursday at 6 p.m. Are you looking for something special, something new, something different on the Grand Strand? Great food, cool jazz. You'll find it only at P. Reynolds Jazz Supper Club, located at 1212 North Kings Highway in Myrtle Beach. P. Reynolds by the Ocean, something special in Myrtle Beach.
Hi, I'm Effie Baldwin, and I'm the founder and chief executive officer of Believing in a Better World. We are introducing Comedic Yoga to the Myrtle Beach area. Comedic Yoga, a therapeutic healing yoga system, is characterized by a series of geometrically progressive postures and controlled rule of 4 breathing. For more information about the Comedic Yoga system, or to set an individual or group appointment, please call 843-712-4413.
We are at Soho on 21st Avenue North in Myrtle Beach. We have Kelly Moore, the Horry County Public Information Officer. We were talking about roads or lack of them. And and Imagine 2040 and what have you. Interconnectivity, you mentioned interconnectivity. I heard Marion Foxworth sit in the dais for 10 years when he was in a district, representing District 3 in a county council. And Marion preached interconnectivity, plans for interconnectivity on Carolina Forest, and nobody else paid any attention to him. Well, here we are, aren't we?
That's absolutely something that's being addressed in the Imagine 2040 plan. I think it just makes sense to give better access and again to alleviate some of the pressure on those main thoroughfares so that you're not always having to come back to a main road to get around town.
Yeah, and you, like you said, public safety. I mean, we design, when I say we, designs by these developers in the county, they love cul-de-sacs. I can't think of anything worse than having a million cul-de-sacs to try and have your public safety patrol or get to in case of a fire or an emergency call. I mean, but geez, we've got 10,000 of them.
Yes,
if we've got one.
Yes.
John? No, you were talking about cul-de-sacs, and she's about to address it. What do you have to say about that? Planning is the whole thing, right? Last time you were on, I was griping about planning and how poor the county planning is. They're not foresighted like Marion was 10 years ago, where he called attention to the future development. So
I'm not even sure Marion was foresighted. He was just stating the obvious.
You see what's happening now. You have flooding when you have these hurricanes. You have the flooding, and it's really devastating a lot of the homes along the Waccamaw River and what have you. They still didn't get paid from FEMA. Some of the people are still out of their houses. You still have all the problems there. And you have the mosquito problems that are becoming up. You have a problem with the roads, which we just talked about. You have problems with development. We're just letting everything go, and you don't have any handle on it, meaning that the planning should be way ahead of the development. They should be looking at how we can develop properly, where the road networks must be. Paul was just griping about I-73. Yeah, we don't, in my opinion, that comes down the road. We don't have to spend all of our money there when we have such problems here.
If the state and federal government want to build it, let them build it.
Well, if the state and government want to do it, you're absolutely right. Let them do it.
Let them do it.
But they want.
But Kelly, let me ask you something, if you know, because John brought up one key point in there, and then I want to go back to the overall thing you were talking about. But you brought up FEMA. FEMA. I think there's still a concept, except for those people dealing directly with them, that you have an emergency and there's so much is set aside and FEMA just pays. It doesn't go that way, does it?
It does not. And I think what's challenging is that the process often moves much more slowly than people expect. The county is still waiting for reimbursements from storms that happened several years ago. So while our staff works diligently to make sure that we record all of that so that the county is reimbursed for things like debris pickup, it just does take time and the wheels move slowly. And we're very mindful that there are people that still are not back in their homes. And that's a challenge that as we look at this flood resiliency plan, we really need to look at the community as we move forward. So this flooding has become a reality for us, has been a reality, and what does the community need to look like? And it might be different depending on where you're at, whether you're in Socastee or Longs. But what plans can we put in place, and how can we help people long term?
Well, yeah, I mean, of course, the first plan we could put in place is not approving development in wetlands and what have you.
I think that's certainly something that they're having conversations about. I think you're seeing that come up at council again and again, and we're hoping that we can help people make informed decisions, but we also really appreciate when people bring their feedback to those meetings, to that planning process, so that we can hear from the community about what they're thinking and what they know to be true in their neighborhood.
And speaking about that, people being involved in what have you, I think you have a populace now that's moved in the last 10 years or less.
I was just going to mention that. Yeah.
That is more involved.
They're bringing the problems here that they are experiencing back east and north and what have you. They're here and they want to know why this isn't done, why that isn't done, why we don't have a handle on this and that and the other thing. And naturally, they're disappointed because when they moved here, they thought they were going to come to a very nice, sedate area, nice and quiet and so forth. And they come here and they see all the traffic, and all the pollution and et cetera, and they're disappointed. And they say, what's happening? Why isn't the government taking care of these things?
Well, and you have a petition now, John. I don't
And
know.
then you have the petition, yeah.
Are you familiar with that?
Well, tell us about it.
Well, there's about 900 people or so that have signed it so far, actually asking a judge. They have an attorney that's going to present it, asking the judge to throw a temporary injunction on building, yeah. And you know, Harold Worley sat up on that dais a few times through the years, and he said, at some point we're going to talk about the M word because we're not doing anything else, moratorium. And by goodness, if we're not at least seeing it come into the conversation.
Well, I've been griping about that for years. We should stop, we should take a breath and let the earth regenerate itself. The beaches here, they need to be renourished. They're constantly being used. And there's no period of time at all that they can get themselves, get the shoreline and what have you, to get renourished. And by putting more houses right near the water line, the beach line and what have you, you're really doing a disservice to the people that want to build there, not knowing better, because the hurricane's coming in here, you're going to wipe them out. So what I've been griping about, we should have a moratorium. I'm very happy to see that we have a petition. I think my name is on it, so you'll see my name. I think it was number 59 or something like that.
Oh, okay, so you knew about it. Well, look, we are down to a
What
point.
I wanted you to talk about it, though. I know about it, but you brought it up, so I wanted you to address it.
We are down to a point where we've got to take another break.
Well,
we'll be back.
there's other issues we have to address and we have to talk about, and we're really almost gone, and she didn't say a word. You've been doing all talking, Paul. Shame on you.
My name is Angelo Antonucci, and I'd like to welcome you to my restaurant. I've been in Myrtle Beach now for over 30 years, and we are the home of the greatest steaks in the universe. Here at Angelo's, we have a fantastic Italian buffet with your favorite pastas served with meatballs and sausage and delicious gourmet pizzas. But where we really shine is our entrees like our Scampi Traditional, Alfredo or Lemon Romano served over linguine, our French pork chops with garlic mashed potatoes, and our twin fillets featuring our signature Marsala sauce. It's a great place to enjoy with family and friends, so stop by and see us at our new location at the corner of 24th Avenue South and South Kings Highway. Don't just take my word for it. Come in and try Angelo's, home of the greatest steaks in the universe.
Here at Angelo's.
Located at 1300 Highway 544 near Coastal Carolina University, Soho 544 is an area's favorite for sushi, hibachi, American and Asian fusion cuisine. Soho 544 also offers daily happy hour special for only $5, as well as some of the lowest beer and liquor prices along the Grand Strand. So don't wait, come and join us. Soho 544 also caters to large parties and special events.
Welcome back. We're with Kelly Moore. We're at Soho on 21st Avenue North in Myrtle Beach. And Kelly,
Where they had the famous pork chops.
John just yelled
Famous
at me. He
pork
said,
chops.
I'm monopolizing things. Is there anything in specific that you would like to address? You know, from any information you want to give out about things occurring around the county.
Well, to your point about this growth and this sentiment of some of the challenges of the rapid growth that we've experienced, I think you're just going to continue to hear it be discussed at council as they continue to make decisions and guide the future and what that future growth looks like. And definitely know that the concerns that we're hearing today at the table are concerns that have been brought to council, and I think they'll continue to work on. We also really encourage people to be informed about the things that are going on in their community, to be paying attention. We've got the HC Connect app, which will actually allow people to get neighborhood-specific information. So you register, you can choose what you want to see, whether it's crime statistics in your neighborhood, whether it's those rezonings. If you're in an area where you're experiencing some of that growth and development, and you want to know, those rezoning pieces of the app will even show you when the next hearing is, how to sign up for public input, and things like that. So we really do want, especially as we have a lot of new people moving in, them to be informed about what's going on in the community. And so that's something that we really strive to do, so that people can bring that feedback of what's happening in their neighborhood, so that the decisions that are made are based on some of that feedback, and we're making the best decisions for the entire community.
And let's take it a step further too. Again, we have new people. I'm not sure if they're really aware of it. All county council meetings, all county committee meetings are broadcast live
Correct.
on both HTC and what's the other one?
Spectrum?
Spectrum, thank
Yes.
you. I still think of it as Cox Cable. I'm sorry, guys.
Okay,
Yes.
whatever.
And we're moving to get, I think in the next month or so, you'll see that those meetings are actually even going to be broadcast on social media. So stay tuned for that. But we're trying to find more ways for
Well, that's
people to be
good.
able
Wow,
to
that's
keep
wonderful.
up with what's going on.
And then the other key is, if you go to the county website and you click under council and meetings and agendas, that'll take you to a spot where you can look at archive videos.
That's right.
To see what has happened. If we're going to second or third reading or something, you see what's happened before.
Yes.
Or you can see when the next meeting is, and possibly the agenda if we've hit the Friday before the next week when it's going to come up.
Exactly.
And I mean, that information's out there, and if you're new, believe me, this information is going to affect you. It is going to affect you. You didn't come down here, unfortunately, to retire and forget about government, because we're growing like the Northeast did 60, 70 years ago.
We were talking about Harold World before. He's very famous. He wants impact fees. Harold World. He feels that developers coming here, that they should be fixing up the roads, putting in sewers, sidewalks, curbs, etc. And we don't have an impact fee here. But Harold has been pushing for it, and nothing has happened so far. But that's not in your bailiwick. That's what he mentioned about Harold World before, about the moratorium.
Well,
Plus, he also wants impact fees.
If you recall, we had an advisory referendum about that in 2018 at the general election.
Why don't they promote more of the public transportation that we have here in the county through coastal RTA? Why isn't your department should be promoting more or less
No, wait a minute.
what we have?
That's not a county department.
I understand that, but it's transportation. It's public transportation to get them around the county and
I think you'll
Georgetown,
find
et cetera.
that Kelly maybe is concerned only with county departments, John. Coast RTA has its own website
Well,
that has all that
actually, she can go
information.
outside the box. She's a very bright lady. She can go outside the box. She doesn't only have to talk about the county issues, et cetera. But this is an issue about people that want to travel.
Do you have a link for Coast at all from the county website to the Coast website?
I believe we do, and
There you go, see?
we certainly encourage people, as we're talking about these long-term plans, what are alternate forms of transportation that are going to alleviate some of the pressure on the roads, whether that's making communities more walkable, more bicycle friendly, and then certainly our public transportation. And Coast comes frequently to those committee meetings that you talked about before.
Yeah, I think they show up virtually all the time.
Yes, to present and kind of give us an update on ridership and what they're doing and how they're looking to grow and change their routes. So we do try to keep people informed that way.
You got to remember, Coast gets a significant amount of its funding from us, county.
1 million.
And that's why they go back.
1 million.
Well, it's over that now, John, because they shifted part of the road maintenance fee to funding Coast and took it away from the general fund. But anyway, that's why Coast comes to
unfortunate.
report,
It's
because, I mean, they're dependent upon the county for the grant money,
Correct.
you know.
How about litter? How are we doing with litter? Still
Can-
ongoing?
I see litter pick up all the time going around, so.
Continuing to pick up, and then this year is the litter the crew that works in on some of the rural routes. So we've had a very heavy presence on some of those heavily trafficked 501, 544, the tourist roads, and so now you've got a crew that's dedicated to some of those other roads like 90, 378 that are collecting litter, because we see that around the county.
The sad part about that is that crew can go through there and they can pick up every bloody piece. And by the end of the day,
it's back again.
It's back again, and that's the sad thing.
Right.
Yeah. How are we doing with the Economic Development Corporation? Is any new firms coming in? Are you aware?
I think they're doing well. I'm not aware of any new developments, but encourage you to ask Sandy to come down and chat with you about
we should
what's
have
going on.
we should have Sandy on the show sometime. We should.
Oh, you're talking about Sandy. Sandy who? Sandy. Who was you talking about? Sandy.
The director of the.
What's the name? What's his name?
I'm drawing a blank on her last name. Isn't that terrible? Cindy Davis? Is that it?
That's it.
Yeah.
I'm
going with my age now. I lose.
Well, I know.
names.
At Myrtle Beach, I have that Aeropack development right off of the main road, Farrell Parkway, going into that development.
You're
that
talking
they're
about the
putting up right
Aerospace
now.
Park.
The Aerospace Park.
That's where we were going to be Cape Canaveral
That's really
North.
being developed. I was there the other day. Well, the construction's
But
ongoing.
I think
they have
got,
about a couple of firms
I think
going
they
in
got
there. Well, that's good.
a buy from the FAA
jobs.
that you don't have to have aviation-related jobs.
Well, a lot of people coming in here, they're looking for jobs, and then they find out it's
we
only
should do that.
$10 an
We should
hour.
have
They think, oh my God, how
Sandy
come I was
Davis
getting
on.
$21 back home? Well, this is not back home. This is here in Horry County, and that's the prevailing rate. They were getting $10 an hour, $12 an hour, and look, taxes are low, prices are low. You have the beach, you have a beautiful sunshine, and you have Paul Gable. What more do you want? I mean, what more do the people want? I mean, really, seriously, what more do you want?
We have Kelly Moore. We don't need Paul Gable.
Oh, Paul Gable's wonderful. Not many people like Paul Gable, but I love Paul Gable.
Well, look,
trying to get a guest here and say, Gable, no, I'm not coming. I'm not coming. Why? He's a nice guy. Relax.
They're
If you can't answer
afraid
his
to-
questions,
they're
you can't
afraid to
answer
be
them
asked the hard
to the
questions.
constituents.
That's the thing.
Well, the constituents also ask hard questions, right? So they're not
agree.
afraid of them. So why should they be afraid
They're
of?
just as
Are you
afraid of
afraid of
them.
Paul Gable?
I'm not. I enjoy my time here every time. I appreciate you having me back.
Well, I think that's marvelous.
And on that note,
What note?
on the note that she
Is that
enjoys
AV?
being here, we're up. Our time is up.
Hey, look, we have a new studio coming up. Jay Burgess, our producer, is putting up a new studio for us. So we're not going to be going to restaurants much longer to bother them, and to also promote their menu. Like here is pork chops. If you like pork chops,
If you like
the
steaks.
place is Soho. Soho, steaks, chops, and seafood at Soho, 21st Avenue North in Myrtle Beach. Jay, thank you. Paul, thank you. Kelly, always thank you. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you both for having me.
I know we can't give you a gift, that's against the law, but you have our admiration.
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate that.
And we'll be back next week.
Hi, I'm Sarah. I'm a server at Brothers Grill, and as a server here, I like to make sure everybody has amazing service and good fresh food every single day. We serve lunch and dinner from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m., our happy hours from 4 to 7, and we're located on 5900 North Kings Highway. Follow us on Facebook at Brothers Grill Myrtle Beach.
P. Reynolds by the Ocean is a restaurant and live performance space with an open jazz jam every Thursday at 6 p.m. Are you looking for something special, something new, something different on the Grand Strand? Great food, cool jazz. You'll find it only at P. Reynolds Jazz Supper Club, located at 1212 North Kings Highway in Myrtle Beach. P. Reynolds by the Ocean, something special in Myrtle Beach.
Hi, I'm Matthew Baldwin, and I'm the founder and chief executive officer of Believing in a Better World. We are introducing Comedic Yoga to the Myrtle Beach area. Comedic Yoga, a therapeutic healing yoga system, is characterized by a series of geometrically progressive postures and controlled rule of 4 breathing. For more information about the Comedic Yoga system or to set an individual or group appointment, please call 843-712-4413.